moss. More moss to the people, yeah, more moss. More moss to the people, yeah, more moss. More moss to the people. Hi, this is Asa Nilsson, and you're listening to More Moss to the People, where each week we're going to be talking about slowing down, even hurling ourselves off of the Ferris wheel of the production first mentality, and choosing to live a courageous life based on our own needs first, and daring to be different in a world where sameness is encouraged more highly than living a life of authenticity. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Good afternoon and welcome back to More Moss to the People. This is Asa Nilsson. I am your host, and this is the second interview with the fabulous and famous to be Lisa Lynch. Welcome, Lisa. How are you today?
Having me, and I am doing great.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you so much. I have been waiting for this moment for so long. You know, you were the first person that I had contacted and asked to be on my podcast when I finally officially decided I was going to start a podcast. And you have just moved. You've had a lot of relocation stuff going on. So it's taken a little bit of time. But of course, you are worth the wait. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I appreciate it. I've told you the idea, the premise of More Moss to the People, the whole movement is to interview cool people that have chosen to do something different with their lives, chosen to jump out of the rat race, opted to take care of themselves first. And that's a very admirable person to me because I see people, I watch people, I've done it my whole life, and I love learning from others. And even though I live very far away from you, now I live in Sweden and I've known you for years and years and years, back in Huntersville, North Carolina. But I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell me what you think you're doing in the world right now, and who are you?
Okay, hi everybody, and thank you for having me. I love the concept of more moss to the people, and I love that picture of you lying in the moss because I'm lying in the sand. So, like you, I love nature. It revives me, and I'm so happy that now that we've moved into our new home, I'm a 20-minute ride away to the ocean, which is my happy place. But it was, as you alluded, a long journey to get here. And sometimes I have to pinch myself that I had the courage to do it. I'm happy that I had the support to do it. And I'm just delighted to be here and finally feeling where every day I wake up and I'm just uplifted and I'm happy and I'm optimistic and I'm just looking forward to the next day. It's just such a wonderful feeling.
And you know, the optimism, right? The underlying feeling of optimism in your own heart when you wake up in the morning, like you said already when we first started talking before I hit record, was that you get to sit and get to look out at the water that's behind your home every day. And
Yes.
that is what a beautiful visual for you to be able to. Now I saw today that you are 60 years of age. Yes, you have celebrated the big 6-0, my girl. Awesome. And you know, the past of how we've gotten to this point. We're going to go back a little bit. You and I met, like I said, in Huntersville, North Carolina. We lived in the same neighborhood, and you and I, we were running in the same circles, having a great time. We both have opted not to have children. We do not have any kids, and both have cats and wonderful husbands that we love very much.
Yes.
And when I met you, you were working inside of the corporate world. Would you
Mhm.
mind sharing a little bit about where you were then and how you've kind of transitioned into where you are today?
Sure. So I'll go back even a little bit further just for some background. I have been working since the age of 16
Mm,
full time. If I wasn't in school, I was working full time. And that takes a cumulative effect on people, right?
mhm,
So I got through school. I was the first one in my family to go to college. I got out of college. I got a job in the corporate world. And then I just went from job to job to job,
mhm,
never a break, never, stopping in between. And by the time I was in North Carolina, I was still happy because I was with really good companies. I had great teams around me. I was with people that I really enjoyed, and I was still learning a
mm,
lot, even at
mhm,
that stage in my career. And you learn a lot about yourself when you're kind of in that mid-career part of what energizes you.
mm,
And for me, it was learning is a big part of who I am. I like new experiences, learning new things. And so I was still doing that even in that mid to late part of my career. So I was still a happy camper. And it was got to the point where that burnout started to catch up. All
mm,
working all those decades without
mm,
any breaks at all, and then my job took a turn, and I started. Um, it was like the same day every day, and I
right.
wasn't getting
Groundhog
those
Day.
new experiences. Yes,
Mm,
and that's when I started to think, okay, I need a change. I just don't know what it is.
mm.
And it's astonishing to me now, where I am, to look back and say, what took you so long, Lisa? What, what is wrong with you, girl?
No, 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 not
Yes,
wrong.
it took a long time to figure it out that the things that fill me were
Mm,
missing, and I needed to make a change.
mm,
And I know there are a lot of other people that have kind of that defining moment. And
mhm.
for me, I ended up going to the emergency room in 2015 for the first time in my life. I
Okay.
was having shortness of breath, and I found out that I had heart failure, and my heart function had dropped to about 15 to 20%.
Wow.
And it was, I had had breast cancer 5 years prior. And
Yes.
as it turns out, one of the chemo drugs that killed the cancer, yay,
Yeah.
also damaged my heart muscle. So this was a revelation,
And you
and
had no idea. You had no
no
inkling
idea.
for
No,
5 years that this was a
5 years
problem with your
later,
heart. Okay.
boom,
My
yes.
goodness.
And then I really started to realize that the stress that I was feeling at
Mhm.
work was much more impactful from that point on. Yeah, I
Mm.
was much more susceptible to it. So that's the point where said, I need to accelerate my exit plan
Mhm.
from corporate America, from the stress of corporate America. And I'm fortunate that I have a husband who was willing to work with me and
Yeah.
talk about that. So, whereas the original plan I had was, the standard work to 65 and then retire and enjoy life. Um,
And then enjoy life. Exactly.
I know, right?
Yeah. Let me wait till
Key.
I'm 65 to have a good time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are so many people
There
that
is.
look at it that way, and it's just awful.
Mhm.
You're absolutely right. So I started, all right, well, then I'll work just till age 62. And then I was like, no, how about if I work to age 60? And then I
Wait,
just
how old
kept
am I
backing it
today?
up.
Yeah.
So at 58 and a half, I
Mm.
said, bye. And I left corporate
God.
America, and I haven't looked back, and it's been marvelous.
Oh, I
Yeah.
just got full body chills. I love that. And, I don't I mean, I'm not the biggest proponent of people just, like, jumping off and not having any kind of a plan, although that can also happen, of course, that's exactly what I
Sure.
did when I quit my job, but I wouldn't recommend that for others. But now your health, the thing is, right, the stress indicators, which are you said, "Why didn't I recognize this sooner?" Or "Why didn't I do this?" But, it's I don't believe that we're meant to. I really don't. Because if we haven't recognized something, it's because we weren't supposed to and it wasn't our time yet until it's our time. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, there's a knock on the door or there is a tap on your shoulder. Your body's saying, hello. And for you now to have like shortness of breath and going to the emergency room and being, yeah, something's wrong. I don't feel right. They're like, yeah, you're going into heart failure. I mean, that's were you then 55?
Uh, yeah, I have to do math. Are you going to
I
make me
know
do
it's
math?
hard. Forget it. That's high math for us.
I
Oh,
wasn't even 55 yet.
no,
Yeah.
no, and you got a wake-up call. You were
I
given a
did.
wake up and think about how many people do not get that
Mhm.
wake-up call. They
Yeah.
just wake up dead. So, going back, you said something very important, and I was lucky enough to be a part of your life back then when you did fight breast cancer and beat breast cancer.
Did.
Thanks God, yes. And then I didn't realize that you'd had this heart problem. I didn't even know. You didn't post about it on Facebook where I get all my news. So
I did
how am
not.
I supposed to know everything? So now, as a woman that has just turned 60 and you've taken control of your life, you and Michael have worked together to make this plan even possible for you both to have this beautiful life, because it is not just only for one person, of course, right? God
Right?
does not put one person together. I mean, two people together to help one. So you guys are now living your best and most beautiful life, which you are living a beautiful life wherever you are. It doesn't matter where you are. It matters who you are and who you're with. So today then, do you have like any tips or counsel for anyone that may still be in this kind of like the wheel of, oh my God, I just got to get through this. I'm just going to just give me a couple more years because then I'll have enough money saved and then I can enjoy my life or enjoy my life and my health and my family, whatever. Do you have any tips for anybody on what what you could say now looking backwards, what you maybe would have liked to have done differently or recognized in yourself when it was happening?
I think the biggest thing that I can say to people is have courage.
Mm,
Uh, I was not courageous for a lot of my career or a lot of my life. I was living a fear-based life,
mm, mhm,
and there's a lot of baggage that would take
mm.
eons to unpack. But I've learned a lot about myself, and I know that
Good,
that is the case for me.
good.
And once I started learning that the best way for me to move forward is to have courage to say yes to a new experience, to
Mm,
make a plan. And the other thing I'll say is everyone thinks they have to have a fully formed plan, and they spend way too much time just like crossing every T and dotting every I. Yes, you have to have some sort of plan, but um, little tiny baby steps are okay. It's all right if today you say, today I'm recognizing that I'm not in a good place. Today
yeah.
I'm recognizing I'm unhappy. I don't know why yet, but at least
Mm,
I know
mm,
that. That's
mm,
one baby step forward,
mm,
just the recognition. And every tiny baby step you make after that towards some sort of resolution or change and having the courage to follow that, I think that's a wonderful thing. And it,
mm.
it certainly helped me. And even today, even since moving here, I've been trying to be more courageous. As I mentioned
Yeah,
to you when you asked me to
yes,
be on the podcast, I'm like,
yes.
normally I would say no, but I'm going to make myself say yes.
Which I'm so glad that you did, because then you're saying yes to yourself. Yeah?
Yes. Yes. See,
That's
I'm
the
good at saying
that's
yes now.
good. See, I was so happy because when I sent the request to you, I'm like, maybe she hasn't read it. I'm like, well, maybe she's not interested. And then you finally answered. You're like, okay, you know what? I've been thinking about this. And when I stopped doing the work that I was doing, I said I would say more yeses.
Yes.
And that's a bold mama right there. That's bold move. And I love me a bold lady, because when we do, it's my word for last year was surrender. And I've spent most of my life trying to fix, manage, and control absolutely every single situation, every single person around me, predominantly everybody else, not looking at myself too much. Now I have done so much work around that. And so the point of us understanding ourselves and our own bodies and our own cues, because our bodies talk to us. our body is telling us constantly what we need to know, and whether we choose to listen in or not, that is up to us. Now, you having the wherewithal to go to the doctor or to the hospital, thankfully, to say something isn't right. You could have pushed that away and been like, "Oh, you know what? It's just fine. I have a cold or whatever." Um, Now, paying attention to ourselves and our own wants and our own needs first. Yeah. And
Mhm.
this being bold and courageous and listening and taking one step and doing one thing a day or a moment, or speaking up for ourselves, or saying if we don't like something, or I mean, that takes for somebody like me, as hopefully a retired people pleaser. That is something that I'm working on every single day. You said when you feel in your career, you didn't feel like you were as bold as you wanted to be?
No, I did because would have raised my hand sooner to
Mm,
say, I'm unhappy. I need a change. Can you? Because a lot of times companies and employers will
yes.
try
Yeah,
to help you, but they don't know if you don't speak up. So
exactly.
if I would have said, I really need some new learning experiences, I need to learn a new skill because that's what fills me is
Mhm.
learning,
Yep.
then I'm sure they would have accommodated and given me a new challenge,
Mhm.
and that would have helped me. So I think um, learning to ask or
Yeah.
speak up is an important thing, and it can help you in a lot of different aspects of your life, not just
Mhm.
in your career, but at home. I mean,
Mhm.
we all know, our spouses, our partners in life are not mind readers,
No,
so
and
it's
nobody's a
important.
mind reader. I mean, maybe there are
No.
mind readers, but if we have a need, we have to say what the need is. That's our job.
Yes,
We
exactly.
must speak
So
up for ourselves.
I'm still not an expert, but I'm getting better at it. I'm
Good.
getting better.
Good. And it's never too late. And that's the beautiful message is, I don't know if you've ever heard of Terry Cole. She is on Instagram and she wrote a book called Boundary Boss, which literally changed my life when I read this book called Boundary Boss. And that's what she says is this is new languaging for us to understand. And it is possible to change. It is absolutely. And so me at 55 and you at 60, it's like I'm getting better and better every day because I'm understanding myself better and understanding myself more. And the more that I understand myself, then I can show up as myself, a true version of myself in the world. And now you live in a Margaritaville in South Carolina, in paradise with the man of your dreams. And okay, we have to talk about your volunteer work because I think it's so stunningly beautiful. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. So once I moved here and I was out of the rat race,
Yes.
I had a lot of time on my hands and I like to learn new things.
Mhm.
And I found out about a local volunteer group that helps take care of the sea turtles around this coastal
Mm.
area. So I joined a volunteer group, and one day a week I would get up at 5 a.m. and drive to the ocean and walk the beaches looking for turtle nests. And there's a whole research around it. So the state department has of natural resources has a program, and volunteers take care of the turtles. They look for the nests, they tag them, they put cages over them to keep the predators out.
Oh,
If they're laid too low in the tidal pool, they move the nest. So I actually
okay.
got to move turtle eggs, which was so exciting and thrilling.
Wow.
And we're just helping that species thrive. And I've learned so much, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I've been educating a lot of my community through my posts on Facebook, and people are learning a lot with me.
Mhm.
And I love
Oh.
it. So I'm looking forward to the next season already. I can't wait.
Well, when is the season? When is their
It'll
high
start in
season?
May. It'll start in
Okay.
May
And it lasts for how long?
through October.
Okay, so May to
Through
October.
October.
Now, what happens then when they make their move into the ocean? Do these animals come and take them? Like, to kill them? Like, any like
The
birds coming? I mean, like, when the babies are going
Oh, the
into the
babies?
water.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, babies. Only about one in 1,000 babies will make it to adulthood. The
Oh,
numbers are just astonishing. So that's
wow.
why it's so important to take care of the
Well,
nests
yeah.
and watch out for them. So yeah, as they're going from the nest to the sand, the
Yeah.
birds, will swoop down. And once they're
Yes.
in the ocean, just about every living creature will want to have a
Yeah.
snack on a baby turtle.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh no.
yeah, we can't do a whole lot from that point, but we can
No.
at least make sure that the nests don't get dug up because, especially at the beach that I work on, it's in a very remote part of the beach,
Okay.
and there are all kinds of animals that roam the beaches and will dig up nests.
Yeah. That want to get some supper. Mm.
Yes.
Well, I just think that is so nice, and I looked at your Facebook page, and I saw how the nests look and how you set up the whole thing around it. And I knew it had to be early because you said that there was a sunrise. Now, we'll do the show notes afterwards, and you'll see. I mean, maybe there's a way that people can help support, or just to learn more about the sea turtles, and maybe anybody that lives on the oceans, maybe they can help out with the same kind of movements. Or also, I don't know really much about it.
Yeah, I will send over a website. I don't want to get the URL wrong. I think it's seaturtle.org, but I'll double check it
Okay,
for
yeah,
the
and
show
we'll
notes. But there is one that you can learn a ton. You can actually track a single turtle, and it's because some of them are tagged, so you can see where they go in the world. And
wow, that would be
yeah, you can
amazing.
learn a ton. It's really fun, and it's a great way to support too.
Ugh, I would love to follow. I wanna adopt a turtle.
You can do that.
Can you? Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's my next thing. Thomas is gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, now she wants to adopt turtles, okay." Okay, well, my goodness, Lisa, thank you so much. You have been such an inspiration to me for so long. You've always had the biggest smile on your face, and you bring light into the world. You are light in the world. And I thank you for choosing yourself first, to love yourself first and most, and then feeding the world from there. Yeah. Serving the world from there. Is there any last minute things or thoughts on your mind that you want to say?
There is a quote. It's anonymous. I wish I could
Mhm.
attribute it, but I always know it to be anonymous. But I have had this posted in every office and cube and wall that I've ever lived in. And it's very simple. It says, if your ship doesn't come in, swim out to it. And that
Mhm.
resonates with me. It has for decades. I think it's a good thought to put in
Mhm.
people's minds because
Mhm.
if you're just sitting still, your life is not going to change. For
No.
it's not going to improve magically,
Mhm.
and you just need to make that first little stroke and
Mhm.
swim after what you want. I think
Yeah.
that's important.
Yeah, it is, right? Nobody's gonna come and save you. We have to help ourselves. We have to
Yes.
help ourselves first. Yeah, that is excellent. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate your time today, and I please give my love to Michael. Take good care of yourselves, and maybe we can have you back. Maybe next year you wanna come back on.
Sure, I'll come back on and talk to you anytime. I
Oh,
love
I
you
would love
and
that. I would love
over
that.
Thomas.
Oh, thank you so much. You take good care of yourself, Lisa. Thanks for being on here today.
You're
Take care.
welcome. Thanks for
Thank
having me.
you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of More Moths to the People. I am Asa Nilsson. If you like this episode, I'd love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, follow the podcast, share it with a friend. I want to say thank you to Kamel Asli for his help with the production of this podcast. Without him, this would not even be in your ears today. I can assure you of that. And let me say a little something about my friend Gregory Paul Donaldson, may he rest in peace, who would always leave me with this quote. He would say, "In the meantime and between time, whatever you do it well, and then pass it on. Peace, and most importantly, joy." I want to leave you with that as well. I'll see you on the flip side, my friend. Take care.